Must be Polish.
Must be Polish, all dressed in red and white, slipping down the chimney while you're asleep at night.
That looks like a Red Wings uniform, Santa. Love it. It's Michael Patrick Shiels. Dzień dobry. Jak się masz? Let's get pijani at Christmas time. That's the extent of my Polish. Tak is yes, and nastrovia would be what we would do when we lift a glass to each other. Thank you, Bobby Vinton, and Merry Christmas.
Santa must be Polish, he's such
Send that one out to Gladys, your chick, who became Gladys Shiels, who became my mother, mi matka. Oh, she loves those Polish, Tony Cuthbert, those Polish kalendis, they're called. They're Christmas carols, like Dzisiaj Bethlehem. Dzisiaj starts with a D, so good luck Googling that if you want. But I'm sure she would make the request right now. I think it's D-Z-I-J. Maybe at the end of the segment, the orchestra can learn it. It's very quick, and Tony Cuthbert is a very good orchestra director. Dzisiaj Bethlehem. In the meantime, John Sellek says, let's talk about Polish restaurants. Isn't there one called Under the Eagle in Hamtramck that you can get Polish food? And there's some others, too, in the downriver area where you can get gołąbki and you can get pierogi and all that sort of stuff. And on Christmas Eve, it's very traditional, too, and that nobody eats till the first star comes out, etc., etc. Save Michigan Restaurants is John Sellek's mission. He's on our AT&T line right now, including those Polish restaurants that I just mentioned. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. That's true. I'm married into a big Polish family. I've been called Pijani Johnny a few times at the holiday party, so I could speak a
Janek
little
is
of the
how you would
language.
say your name in Polish, Janek. But Pijani, for those who can't translate, well, let's just say if you lift enough glasses and say Nastrovia, you will end up Pijani. And Pijani Johnny. Did you ever drink spiritus? Do you remember that at all?
No, I certainly have not. What's that?
That was like a white, super heavy alcoholic white liquor that I remember my uncle used to drink when he came to visit from Poland, and by the time he was done with it, he would be on all fours on the living room floor pretending that he was a dying cow. And he put on a show that lasted about 10 minutes until he finally keeled over. Oh, the good old days.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the sound he would make, and he would move his hand, and he would finally fall over. I don't think he got up till the next morning. But anyway, so we in this state have been talking forever about minimum wage, and now we have restaurants that are going to be paying minimum wage unless there's some action at the legislature, but minimum wage with no tipping?
Yeah, I think there has been a lot of discussion. This has been going on in this particular instance at least since 2018 when the ballot initiative was where the signatures were collected. It was brought to the legislature, and the legislature adopted it, and then they amended it. And so there's kind of been a fight going on ever since 2018. It's hard to believe that fights in government go on forever, right? Except they all do. And in this instance, what the ballot initiative would have done is eliminate what they call the tip credit on the minimum wage. So I think we all know there's a understanding that when you go to get a restaurant service and they take good care of you, that you tip. And that tip generally takes servers and bartenders far beyond minimum wage. So the business pays slightly less than minimum wage, although they're legally required to meet the minimum wage should the server not be tipped up to minimum wage. But that almost never happens because servers go into this business to make money, and they're making a lot. And they are really concerned what will happen if a court's ruling recently that said that the tip wage would go away, that their customers who they know so well will eventually think, this unwritten agreement is no longer valid. I don't have to tip. It doesn't mean some people won't tip out of the goodness of their heart. But if they find out that restaurant servers and bartenders are all making a much higher minimum wage, which looks like it'll be around $12 an hour right now, and then maybe moving up with inflation every year, that's going to go away. And that's a big hurt for them because they're the ones that are on the ground making the money, and they want to keep the system they're in. That's why they spoke out this week.
My inclination is that people have been so used to tipping that they would continue to do it, although maybe not. And I'm also told from restaurateurs that I talk to that this will cost them a huge amount in operating expense. And also I've read that a number of them might just throw in the towel once and for all.
Well, it's kind of interesting what I've heard so far. People that go to restaurants and tip are the first to say, well, I don't think that'll go away. And that's because you're a good person. There's a lot of good people out there, and they've been in this system for a long time. What we've been hearing a lot is like the politics about the issue, the left and the right, the Republicans and the Democrats, business versus labor. So what we did with Save Michigan Restaurants was say, we want to talk to the servers, the people who are actually at the tables every day. And they love their customers, but I think they're the experts here. They're the ones that know the human nature. They know the ups and downs of which day of the week it is, depending on which money they're going to make, how many regulars are going to come in, but non-regulars too. They're looking at this from their experience level with human nature. And I just think that those of us that do tip now are going to feel inclined to keep doing it. I don't think the servers think it'll happen overnight. They're just convinced that it will. And so Save Michigan Restaurants did a survey of over 300 Michigan servers. And the percentages, Michael Patrick, were off the charts. First, 99% of them say they make well over minimum wage now. And so then 79% of them said that the current system works for them. They don't want the courts to change it. They want the legislature to fix it so that doesn't go away. The courts are going to have a hearing on December 13th and then a ruling probably by January. Otherwise, this elimination of the tip credit will happen in February of next year. The legislature has a chance to do something about it in lame duck, but this last few days, it seems like it's getting to be more of a narrow chance since both the governor and the legislative leaders are kind of sniping at each other, saying nobody will bring presents to the Christmas table, so nobody wants to show up and talk.
Okay, we'll continue and stay in touch, John Sellek. Peony Johnny. Here's G. Shy Bethlehem for Gladys Yurchik Shiels.